Wow, here we are again, folks. Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. I'm required by the Lord to do much study. And as I was writing down some things today, there are 12 kinds of conscience. If I take you to every verse and I show you that verse, have I done anything for you? If I take you to that verse and leave you for you to look it up and for yourself and understand what that verse says, then I've done something for you. But for me to answer the question is not for you to search it out. I think that sometimes us preachers have got to the place to where we want to tell you the scripture and we want to give you the answer and you don't receive it. It's not like you getting in there yourself and reading it for yourself and finding out. I've got 12 things I would like to talk about here. 12 kinds of conscience. That's from up here. But they're written in the scriptures so that you yourself can learn them and know how to walk circumspectly to God. Now, if I take you to the awakened conscience in John 8 and 9, and I tell you what that says, have I helped you or not? But if I tell you it is in John 8 and 9, and if you want to receive it, you must go there yourself. Allow God to give it to you the same way He gave it to me. Now, you know something? There's a possibility that you will have it a different way than I do, but you'll have the same answer. And because we're all different, we have finite minds, and our hearts are different on different walks of life. My walk of life is soul winning. My walk of life is out there winning souls, to talking to people and saying, if you died right now, would you go to heaven? And using that as a trigger to fire the bullet that says, if you die without Jesus, you will go to hell. And use the scriptures that are necessary. But these 12 scriptures right here are very, very important. I could almost say, I don't know if the word would be correct. They're impertinent. They are necessary. Awakening. Have you been awakened yet? John 8 and 9. You need to get you pause this, and you need to get you a pencil and a pad of paper. If you're going to follow Brother Peter, I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. I've been in progress ever since 1972, November 5th, at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a work in progress. And I have studied through and through the Bible, and yet I haven't even scratched it. I haven't even scratched the Bible. I've got all these commentaries, all these books, and all these studies that I do and everything, and I hadn't even really scratched the surface yet. This book, by the way, is going to be the book that you're going to be known by in heaven forever. This word never, nada, ever pass away. This word will never pass away. It's going to be used in the heavenly of heavenlies. We do not know, you do not know, I do not know what's going to happen in the 1,000-year reign. Are we going to be there? Are we going to be workers there? If we are workers there, how are we going to be workers there? We're going to have to know the Bible. We're going to have to be able to perhaps even quote it. And we're going to have to know what it says and why it says what it says. A new generation, a 1,000-year generation is going to come after the rapture. Somebody's going to have to teach that generation about the same Jesus that we have today. Nothing's going to change in that area. Jesus is the Son of God, came for the redemption of sin, and the only way sin is redeemed is through Jesus Christ. The only way to the Father is through the Son. If you believe in God and you say, well, I believe in God and God this, and I believe God's got this going, God's got that going and everything, and you're not coming through Jesus Christ, you're not talking to God. You were talking to the air and a God of the world, but you're not talking about the God of heaven. The God of heaven sent His Son to be sacrificed on the cross, that you and I may come boldly into the throne room through the Son. He's the one did the work, and He's the one did the work for us. Write these down. Awakened. Are you awakened? John 8 and 9. Look at the next one. My eyes are very bad. Are you seared? 1 Timothy 4 and 2. Are you purged? Hebrews 9:9. Hebrews 14 and Hebrews 10 and 2. Are you pure? Acts 24 and 16. 1 Timothy 3 and 9. 2 Timothy 1 and 3. Are you weak? 1 Corinthians 8 and 7 and 10 and verse 12. Are you defiled? Titus 1 and 15. Are you witnessing? Romans 2:12 and 13, 9 and 1. 2 Corinthians 1 and 12. Are you good in the eyes of God? Acts 23 and 1. 1 Timothy 1 and 5 and verse 19. 1 Peter 2 and 19. 1 Peter 3 and 16. And 1 Peter 16 through 21. And in Hebrews 13 and 18. Are you convicting or are you healthy? Matthew 27 and 3. Are you satisfied? 1 Corinthians 10, 25 through 29. Are you evil? Hebrews 10, 22. Or are you perfect? Hebrews 9, 9. What is your Christian life like in the mirror of these 12 things? These are 12 things right here. Timothy brought up, Paul brought up, Peter brought them up, John brought them up. These are things brought up to you and I to weigh ourselves in the balance by these scriptures. If you weigh yourself and find yourself wanting, you need to ask God to deliver you from yourself and start doing things different. I have people all the time say, how do you do that, what you do? How do you walk up and talk to somebody like that? I do it the same way you'll do it if you allow God to use you. All you have to do is say, God, please use me. Use my mouth, God. Use my tongue. Use my life, Lord, for you. My life is for the Lord. Do I have anything else to live for? I had one thing other than the Lord in this world to live for. Actually, I have a family. I could put more credence in them than I do. But my wife was my mainstay. She was my mainstay. And perhaps the reason why God took her home before me is that I put too much faith in her. Too much credence in her. But she was there. She was the best thing, second to salvation, that God ever gave me. Was that good wife that I had. And now I've had to learn to live by myself and without her. And I actually, I don't know what, well, let's see, what time is it? It's quarter two. I slept 2 hours today, and it's 1:45 now, and I'm not ready to sleep again, and I don't know when I will be ready to sleep again. But whenever it is, I'll sleep, and then I'll get up and do some more of these. And I'll study. And I'll put on some Christian stuff, and I'll listen to a lot of preachers. I listened to Brother Adrian Rogers. I listened to Dr. Stanley the other morning, and he's the one that triggered me to do this right here, because he said, talking to his congregation out there, that perhaps 40 or 60% of them was a possibility they wouldn't even enter into the kingdom of heaven. You can't get in heaven by good works. You can only get to heaven through Jesus Christ. And if you've asked Him into your heart and you are following Him, you should have evidence. If you do not have any spiritual evidence, can you prove to yourself that you're following Jesus? This is what Dr. Stanley said to his whole big church. Can you prove yourself? Can you prove yourself to yourself? How about that? And so that's a necessary thing. Well, our time has come and gone, and we'll see you next time. Right. Bye-bye. All right. It's 11 and a half.